a really cool story, one of like the cooler like big miracles I think that I saw in my mission was my companion and I, in that same area actually, we had gone and opened it for sisters. There hadn't been sisters there for years. And so we got there and we had like nothing. We didn't have an area book. We had no potential investigators. We had we had nothing. And so we got there and we were just like, okay, like, Heavenly Father, like, what do you want us to do here? We know we're here for a reason, but we don't know why, and we have nothing right now. And so we just went out and like hit the streets and talked to everyone and knocked on doors. And after doing that for about a week, we were kind of like, with no luck, like no success, we were kind of frustrated, and we were like, okay, like, we don't really want to do this forever. Like, we would love to teach someone. So like, all right, like, what do we need to do? And we just, I don't know, we just worked hard. And then we taught English class every Wednesday. And so we went to Eikaiwa English class, and we had never been before in that area, obviously. And so we were there and we were helping the elders or whatever. And this girl came, and like, we didn't think anything of it because we hadn't been there, but she's Chinese. Her name is Ling, and she was in college. But that was her first time to English class too. And she was just so cute. And we were like, she's so cool. Man, like, we need to find someone like her. Like, maybe we could ask her about, like, if we could teach her. But we're like, we don't want to, like, scare her away. This is her first time in English. Like, we want her to keep coming back and, like, maybe be able to build a relationship or whatever. And so she's, like, getting ready to leave. And I, like, looked at my companion and I was like, I just want to teach her so bad. And she's like, maybe we can ask her next week. I was like, we should just ask her. And she's like, okay, let's ask her. So we like run after her and we're like, Ling, wait, like, and she's like, yeah. And we're like, so we teach English, but like, we're missionaries actually. And we're like sharing a message about like Jesus Christ and like all this stuff, you know? And she was like, oh, that's cool. And like, we were just wondering if sometime you might want to hear like our message. And she's like, yeah, that'd be cool. And we're like, what? Yes, like, yes. Oh, okay, but like, when can we meet with you again or whatever? And she's like, well, is now okay? We're like, yeah, now is awesome. We'll just go in this room over here. And we were like, what do you want to teach? Like, we didn't plan anything. Okay. And we went in there and had like a super awesome lesson. We were able to teach the first lesson, and like make another appointment with her for the next week at like, this time before English, so that we wouldn't be home late. And she was awesome. We started teaching her. The next lesson was kind of funny. We went in and talked to her, and she was like, hey, like, I'm really sorry. I just don't know if I can do this. And we were like, no, we just found this awesome girl. She was going to be like perfect and like all this stuff. And she's like, I don't think I can do this. And we were just both like kind of sad. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I just don't think I can be like you guys. And we're like, missionaries? And she's like, yeah, I don't think and we're like, no, it's fine. Like, you don't have to be. And so that was like her like concern or whatever. And so once we got that like straightened out or whatever, she just progressed like really fast. And she's one of those super, super prepared people that the Lord had just been preparing for a long time. And we were able to meet with her, like every week from then on, and she came to church. She ended up getting baptized while we were both still in the same, like in that area together. And she was just such a miracle. It was so fun. It's just so fun to teach her. She was going to college and she was studying Japanese. And so her Japanese was perfect. Her English was pretty good, but we taught everything in Japanese, and like whenever we talked to her and stuff, it would be in Japanese, and she could read Japanese, and like she talked with the members, like everything was in Japanese. So that was a blessing too, that there was no like Chinese like language barrier. So, and then there was another lady in a different area that it was pretty cool. She also got baptized, but I was in that area for about 8 months, and my companion and I, it was kind of the same thing. We went in and we whitewashed, and so we had nothing. And so we were just looking for people to teach, and we met her right outside of our apartment actually. And she was kind of crazy a little bit. Like, I don't know. She was like yelling at us and like telling us she didn't need God, and that, I don't know, like all this stuff. And we're like, okay, like here's a pamphlet. Like if you ever want to come to church, like feel free, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, like, man. And so she ended up calling us like the next week and was like, hey, like I want to come to church. And we were like, what? Like, you yelled at us and like whatever. And So she ended up coming to church, and she was sick, and so we taught her for a while, and she had a baptismal date, and then she didn't make it because she got sick. And then a few months later, I had 2 companions later, like one had transferred in and like she had transferred out, and then a new one had come and she had transferred out, and I was with a new companion. And she just called me up one day and was like, "Hey, Sister Babcock, like, is it okay? Like, I'm sorry I haven't been at church. Like, I'll be there next Sunday though." And I was like, "What? That's awesome." And we were able to like go through and teach her all the lessons, and it was kind of hard for her to like learn a little bit. And so it was like a really long process. It ended up being almost 7 months, like from meeting her to like the time that she got baptized. But I think that was really cool for me to be able to like be there and see the whole thing, and like be there like the whole time as she was going through her like conversion process. And just how much at first where I was like, she kind of yelled at me, and like I don't know how much I like her, and just like being able to like humble myself and like pray to be able to like love her, and how much at the end that I did love her, and like how much she meant to me, and how important it was like for me to see her like grow and progress in the gospel, and be able to like gain that understanding and see how it changed her and her life. So that was a really awesome experience that I had, being able to see somebody's like all the way through like that whole like long conversion process was really cool.